up now, they up next. Said we up now, they up next. Up next, got you in your feelings upset. Upset, said I'm up to bat, you on deck, on deck. Have my best stress, cause we up now, they up next. Up next, said we up now, they up next. Up next, got you in your feelings upset, upset. Someone said that I was up next. I said I'm up now with no mean of disrespect. I don't be at the gym, so I don't need to flex. You regret moving on to the next and making me your ex, yeah. I'll roll up whenever you feeling stressed. Treat you with respect and never settle for less. Life's a game of chess, don't let it get you in check. She like.
All right. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. I think. Are we live, Ben? We're up. All right. So you may notice it looks a little different today, but have no fear. Steve is okay. He is alive. He just doesn't feel well. So we're going to go on. Well, yeah, you don't know. You haven't seen him. Shut up, Ben. But we're going to go with our normally scheduled broadcast of Tuesday nights, 7:30-ish. Heavy on the ish tonight. We have special guests. We have Clocks Running podcast here, Jacob and Ant, or Ant and Jacob, whichever one decides to go first. And we're just going to talk about how they got to their podcast going, how they got into their little niche of reffing and everything else, USA flag, and, take it away. Ant, Jacob, I think you have to
Oh, yeah, guys. A little bit of a new system here.
Can
you hear me? Are we unmuted?
We're doing this, so.
No, you guys are unmuted. There you go. Can you hear me?
There you go. Go ahead, Jacob. You started.
What's going on, fellas? How we doing?
Hey. Thanks
appreciate
for being
you guys
here tonight. Appreciate it. A long time trying to get this set up. So thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys having us on. I just wish we had a sweet Tambo time. I wish we had Tambo to talk about a sweet Tambo time.
Well, really, you have the two people here that are Tambo time. So.
Right. I think we're going to name the show the John and Ben Show. I don't see why not.
Oh, God. We talked about this, Jacob. Don't do that.
Well, look, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the campaign for it. If he's not going to be present for us, then we're changing the name of the show. I think it's for the better for everybody.
Not for Ben. All right. So where do you guys want to start off first? You want to start with how you got to Clocks Running, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Ed, you want to start? Or you want me to take it away?
Go ahead, Jacob.
All right. So I think it was about 2 years ago. We've been kind of traveling the circuit together, and as most of you guys know, he's the arch nemesis of every great flag football player on the field. And I'm there as Robin to back him up as soon as he starts tossing people. No, I think the biggest thing, we kind of came together with a group of officials and we said, hey, how do we change the narrative that officials aren't invested in the game to be problems? We're invested in the game to make the game better. There was a group of about 7 or 8 of us that really got to talking, and we said, why don't we, everybody has a podcast these days. You can have a podcast about your cat's toenails, baseball card collection, anything. I said, why don't we have a podcast about flag football officials? And everybody, really agreed. We all got gung-ho about it. We thought about, what would be a good name for this. And, we all think the great Lance Liu, if you've ever been to a USA flag tournament, you know who Lance is. He's he's our head official. But Lance, his main thing is he always constantly says, we got to go, or clock's running, keeps things moving. And, we said, why not name it Clock's Running? Like, let's just, let's see what we can get with this. Ant really stepped into the driver's seat and kind of took charge of the show and does a great job, between social media and really just driving and organizing the show for us. And throughout time, just like with life and everything else that happens, eventually people started kind of falling off a little bit here and there. And Ant and I kind of really said, let's really dig into this. If we want to make this happen, let's see what we can do with it. And really just took off from there. It's something that we've really enjoyed trying to put together and piece together and see the country with this as a kind of our background. So, Ant, what did I miss?
So much. I mean, it's just I really set you up to kind of be the leadoff hitter, and you just I don't even know.
I bunted, dude. I got the ball in play. I don't know what you're concerned with.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think that you covered it all pretty good. I look back at some of those early episodes, and we were just, I was in the back of a car recording. We were we were just doing our very best. But ultimately for me, I've been, I don't know, I've been around my sports my whole life. My dad was a collegiate athlete, and I growing up in like northern Colorado, we didn't have like flag football really. It was basically tackle football with no pads, and we played in the snow and stupid stuff like that. But I started getting into flag football, back in like 2015 or something like that. I was running a charity organization just to kind of help kids get off the street, stay away from gangs, and keep them busy instead of being in and out of jail stuff. And then just kind of like, hey, let's start kind of an organic mentoring around sports. We did flag football, we did basketball, all of that. And then I started playing flag football. And that, during COVID hit, which kind of ruined the organization, just like it kind of ruined a lot of anybody meeting together in groups. So I think that was like my first go to podcast was during COVID. And I was like trying to just kind of keep people like, in the right mental space, like, hey, let's talk about, all the different, the fun times we've had and, flag football, and let's do this and that. And so, just seeing local organizations, get podcasts going is always cool. Cause that's kind of where I got my start, and played, started traveling, getting going. And that's where me and Jacob met. It was basically like, I called him up and was like, hey, I'm playing in Worlds, but I also wanted to ref because I have experience refing. And he gave me a shot. And from there, I was like, I want to keep traveling wherever I can go, I'll go. And, and that was kind of where our history, came together as far as me and Jacob knowing each other. And, Jacob just taught me so much as far as officiating's going, and just giving me a lot of opportunities to be able to officiate, the best of the best and the worst of the worst when it comes down to it. And and so yeah, just like Jacob said, it was we just kind of started floating this idea around in the group chat. What we were talking about a podcast, and from a ref's perspective, and I think that's ultimately the heart of it. Is I do think that officials actually care about what they do. They want to do the right thing. They want to provide a good arena, a safe arena, unbiased, for players. And unfortunately, there's bad seeds out there that kind of ruin the whole bunch. So I think a part of our podcast is just to try to change that idea that, refs just show up for a paycheck. That the paycheck's never going to be enough for refs to just show up for. So what it really comes down to is being passionate about it. And we all know that flag football is going into the Olympics, and the best way to make that successful is to have good officials, in my eyes. The players are always going to be there. You're always going to have good players, but if you don't have good officials that care about what they're doing and care about the game, then it's basically just a pickup game. So that being said, we've been having a lot of fun the last year and a half doing this podcast, and appreciate you guys having us on. So fire away with whatever you want to ask us. We don't hold back.
No,
Good grief! You just take a breath.
Appreciate you guys being here for sure. You guys have a massive following, so whatever you guys are doing is working. You have like over 4,000 followers on Instagram, and loving the sideline kind of banter. You have some interviews going. Like, what made you guys think of doing that? Like, kind of branching out from the game and just having some of the sideline content.
I think we realized, ultimately there's only so much you can cover with officiating, and there's only so much of a demographic you're going to get with officials. And while that's still kind of the foundation of the podcast. You know, ultimately, you know, for every one official, there's probably 200 players. So, you know, we figure, you know, let's tie into, you know, the bread and butter. Let's start talking to the players. Let's start getting the players, you know, opinions on things and things like that. And Ant really kind of took it by storm. And, you know, our sideline reporter, Katura, she does an awesome job, you know, relating to the players and talking with them and getting the funny kind of quotes and stuff like that out of them. That's really kind of the meat and potatoes of it.
For sure. And what else do you foresee like your podcast growing into? Like, you guys are getting massive followers now, so like, is there anything bigger that you're planning on doing, or like, where's the next step for you guys?
Go ahead, Ant.
The next step, I think we just want to be able to take more, you know, have more opportunities at like having live shows at tournaments, you know, more sideline stuff. Being able to, you know, maybe be media at like Super Bowl week, like that would be amazing. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, like the Olympics is, you know, that would be the coolest thing, is to be part, you know, have a media pass for the Olympics and be able to be involved in that way and just be right, you know, front and center for history.
I mean, I'm a little hurt that it wasn't being on Tambo time was the answer, but that's fine. It's okay.
Well, that's why I didn't answer, because I knew that like my answer was Tambo time. I'm at the top of the mountain, right? You know, the freaking John and Ben show. The way, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know what Tambo time is.
Oh man, if you can see Ben right now, he's smiling ear to ear right now. You're Jacob.
That's what I'm talking about, my guy.
One fan right here. Literally, as you may not know, that is how I got on the show, by just pulling at Ben's ego. So it's working. You now have a new friend.
As soon as you got on the show, started shitting on me.
And that's how it works.
That's awesome.
Now, both of you ref at USA Flag, right? Or
So Ant's one of our main officials. I'm actually the head.
I'm just a part timer.
Oh my god. Ant refs all the rec games. I'm the head of officials for USA Flag.
okay.
So while I do officiate when needed, typically you won't see me. If you see me on the field at a USA Flag tournament, either there's been a problem or there is a problem.
That's true. I do remember seeing you on the field, and it's you in a golf cart, and it's not very good.
All right. Ben, take care of my light work, please.
just think about if there was like a polar bear on a golf cart, and you know he really wanted to chase after some food. Like, that's the energy Jacob brings to a field when he rolls up.
I don't disagree.
I'm gonna remember all of this. Okay.
What tournament are you guys going to be at next? Like, what's your next venue?
So this coming weekend will actually be in Gatlinburg. We're going to be working with the Rocky Top Sports Complex. They're hosting the Smoky Mountain Gauntlet. It's a youth tournament. It's their first ever tournament. It's a USA sanctioned tournament. Really excited to work with them. They've been great hosts so far. That's where we're headed next. And then actually the weekend after that will be Ant's actually coming to North Carolina, where he's going to be working the Camel City Draft Tournament, which has become kind of the summer ticket for the Southeast.
All right. Is there any spot that you guys have been to that you like or looking forward to going to this year?
Boston, come on!
Oh,
I'm excited to go to Boston.
Yeah, Boston.
Now he's getting it.
Yeah, he's finally figured it out. Yeah, I think Boston's going to be the big one for us this summer. Pretty excited to hit that one. Night Fest, that'll be an interesting concept. I'm actually pretty excited to see how it works with going as late as we will for that tournament.
Can you tell us where it is exactly, or do you know the details of what fields and stuff?
For what? For Boston?
Yeah.
Let's see.
He doesn't.
I was gonna say I don't have it offhand. I know it's not at Harvard. I got asked if it was at Harvard, and the answer is no. I'm not sure offhand.
Because we kind of thought that too. Because there's not enough parking there.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see.
We're not. My name's Ant. I can find everything.
Oh, that's it's crazy. Let's see here. My mom's from Boston, so I'm excited to just be able to
very cool.
check out some of my roots. I know everything about the New England area as far as geography is concerned, so just feel free to ask me if you have questions.
Yeah, so Ant doesn't understand north, south, east, or west.
That's
He thought Boston was actually in Georgia, and I had to fix
Hold
that.
on. Hold on. Okay, I know that if I drive east from where I am right now, I will get to Massachusetts at some point.
That is true.
Or the ocean.
Okay.
One of the two. Yep.
Okay, so Union Point Sports Complex in Weymouth.
In Weymouth, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's in Weymouth, Ant. Duh.
Yeah.
Well, while we waited for you to say that, we all knew that.
I see a picture. Look at this. Look at how fancy those fields look.
Dude, holy cow.
Oh, wow.
Dude, are you recording on your Nokia? What is going on? That picture was grainy.
It's on a Chromebook.
Oh.
First one, right?
Hey, man, we can't.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? We don't all have a producer, bro. Okay.
Okay. Well, look. First of all, you're not going to disrespect Ben like that on
second of all,
the show.
It's not his full-time job. So he has said that to us numerous times before the night's over.
But what could you do? What are your time?
But it's weird.
Not my full-time job, bro.
Once we hit 500 followers, Ben shows up more times now, kind of on time. And we also have YouTube, so it's weird. Ben starts.
Last time I checked, everybody was okay with the ish. We were good with the ish.
We had no choice, unfortunately.
I didn't know people would sit around waiting for the show to come on.
Here's my thing. I was told I was going to be on Tambo time, and I don't see Tambo, so this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, we got a lot of calls in the comments for it to be called Ben time.
Oh God, here we go.
Oh, all right. Wait a minute. Hold on, Ben.
You mentioned Garcia time, actually.
Oh wow, Ben, that's very big of you to mention that one comment that's not about you.
Give you a little bit of credit.
I think the John and Ben show is great. If Tambo's not going to show up for his own show, I mean, that's just like.
I mean, you can't come at my guy all wrong here. He's not feeling well. He's not 100%. He wanted to give you 100%, but he also didn't want to blow you off. So you got Ben and I.
But you know what? Trying to say that it's the consolation, I don't feel like it's a consolation. I feel like I've won the grand prize.
Hey,
I feel like I'm on the stage Sunday afternoon at Worlds.
I'm gonna send you guys this. I remade your sign for you guys. Here we go. I'll send it to you.
Oh my gosh!
Transitioning on the camera here, but I'm assuming it says Ben's name first because he's zooming in.
Oh man, he's gonna bring us back on and be like, what?
yeah. So you might be on sooner than you thought.
Just don't.
Sure.
Hey, I'm with it. Bring it on.
Just don't ask him about how surgery went. That's all.
I was telling Jacob before the show. I've had experiences with Tambo on the field. It's been interesting. So I was expecting him to just start screaming at me as soon as I came on the screen.
Well, surprise, it's me.
I think it's great.
So what else do you guys want to talk about? What else is on the docket for you guys? Like anything major? Like, are you going to not be part-time ref? Are you going to head up into pro division? What are you going to do, Ant?
Yeah, Ant, what are you going to do?
No, well, like this weekend I'll be in youth because it's a youth tournament. Next weekend I got to deal with the whiniest players in the entire world in Camel City. Hey, you know what's crazy to me? Let me talk about this right now, okay? Since you asked.
Here we go.
So I don't know if you know this about Camel City. All right, it's in North Carolina, and they call themselves the SEC of contact flag football because like 12 years ago they did really good at some random tournament or something. I don't know where it came from, but anyway, so it's constantly hyped up. it's just like, oh, we're the SEC, and this team is Auburn, and this team's Alabama, and blah blah blah.
Ben,
blah,
whenever
blah,
you want to hit that mute button, brother.
and then and then I go officiate at one of their tournaments. It was playoffs, so money was on the line, and the entire day was just grown men whining. Oh, it's a hold, ref. Oh, contact, unnecessary. Hold on, this is contact. Shut up and play the game.
Good. Keep painting that target on your back before you come down here. Number one. Number two, that's everywhere we go. Doesn't matter where it's at. No, it's a good time, though. It's a good time.
Yeah, no, that's.
When's the last time you guys played contact in a tournament?
In a tournament? No, we actually play in a. So the podcast is kind of centered around this season of our contact league we have in our local area. It's called the NEFL.
Okay.
And it's kind of contact. There's pitches. There's live fumbles and a lot of kind of going back and forth. So it's a lot of banging and clanging, sort of. And
yeah.
Stiff arms, right?
Week, exactly. What was that?
Like a John.
Can you stiff arm?
Yes, stiff arms. Basically everything except for tackling.
Okay.
So
I
it gets
think
pretty
Drew's told us about this.
But last week we actually had someone kind of crashing out a little bit. So it's kind of ironic that we're talking to you guys this week, opposed to maybe last week instead. But anything happens. We usually have player refs. So sometimes the player refs aren't always up to par, and sometimes they're really good. So usually 50-50. But they try their best. They collect their $40 and then leave. So it goes really well.
I could say this, man, and honestly, like I think Ant will agree. Like to me, once players make that transition and they fully understand like they're officiating, some of the players make some of the best officials. They know the game, they understand the nuances, and they take it seriously. The biggest issue I run into when hiring officials is you'll see guys come out there that are like high school, like college level officials. Some of them do really well. Let me go ahead and say that because they do. But we have some that come out there. They think they see flag and they're like, oh, this is just flag, like this lesser than. They don't take it seriously, and people get hurt because they don't take it seriously. So yeah, I would 100% for me. I would rather have a player, someone who has played versus somebody who's never touched the field, never seen flag football prior to coming out there. Because those players at least know what to look for. When I say flag guard, they're not looking at me like I have a third eyeball on my forehead.
Yeah.
Like Ant does when I bring up, that it's his podcast for Clocks Running.
Oh, God. See, you're...
I also have the soundboard over here.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's funny because I can't. What as a player, I was 8's contact, 5's contact, 6's contact when that came up, and I hate officiating 8's contact now. It's slow, it's boring. So it's pretty funny how people kind of view changes from going from being a player to an official. I'm very I would probably, if I were to assess myself, I'm a very strict official as far as contact goes, which is very different. Different from who I was as a player. I mean, as a player, I was in the trenches. I wanted to put somebody in the dirt every chance I could, and it's very different as an official.
No, I don't disagree. I mean, I do agree with Jacob as well. Definitely you want someone who's had experience with the league, played in it, kind of have an idea what to look for and what to kind of know to see, opposed to someone just kind of walking off the street and just you have no idea what this guy is talking about, or even if he knows all the rules. So definitely can go both ways for sure. I don't mind the refs. Sometimes they get a little bit lazy longer the day if they're there for that long. So it does happen. So it kind of is a catch-22 sometimes.
Right. And I mean, even some of the best officials, I had a crew this past weekend. We just did a local league here. They worked 11 hours and that hour 11, heck, I was dragging with them. It was rough. We were trying to get through the day. And I think what a lot of people miss, unfortunately, is where a player goes in 4-second spurts, runs 2 or 3 plays, and then comes out and stands on the sideline and hits the black and mild or, the twisted T or whatever they got on the sideline. The officials, unfortunately, don't get that luxury.
Well, in our league, they do.
Well, hey, except for with you guys.
I think you guys are referencing the wrong areas.
Dang. All right, well, and we're going on a road trip. But yeah, I think even as the days go on, it gets tough, and you want to be able to give your all and do the best you can, but sometimes your all isn't what it should be. What I mean? Agree. So it's a catch-22, like you said.
I mean, I try to consume 2 or 3 energy drinks per day when I'm officiating, just to make sure I'm like locked in. But like this past weekend, we were at East Coast Nationals, and it was funny because I just happened to hear like somebody on the sideline, and they were like, "Oh, this ref, he's locked in, blah blah blah." I don't see refs doing this kind of thing. And then literally the next play, I had an inadvertent whistle, and I was like, "Dang it, that dude jinxed me!" Like, I do not want to hear compliments from players. Don't do that
to me. Something to keep in mind though. If you guys ever hear an inadvertent whistle, just know that guy or gal or whoever it is, they have to buy a round for the crew that night afterwards. If there's an inadvertent whistle, it's on them.
Oh, I like that.
So yeah, we keep tally of that kind of stuff. There's fun things for officials to keep engaged and have a good time too. So
all right. Is there any other little behind the curtain kind of things that you'd share?
What else, Ant?
Yeah, I do push-up contests with my crew. So basically, I give everybody the opportunity to catch an illegal equipment in their area, whether they're on the line of scrimmage or at the rush line. And if I'm in the backfield and that player comes into the backfield or downfield, and I see an illegal equipment, that means they missed it. So then they owe whatever it is, 5 push-ups, 10 push-ups. And we tally things up from there.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I don't.
I also, I also like to definitely take pictures or screenshot officials that don't like to wear the uniform correctly. So I've got a pretty big collection of officials that do not look professional for sure.
All right. Do they have to do anything when they don't look professional? Like, what's the punishment for that? Nothing?
No, I just make fun of them in the group chat.
Do we have any comments or anything? Any questions anybody has for them?
There's really been a lot of theories about where Tambo is.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't ask any questions. You'll wind up with them.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
What's the?
You don't have any shows.
You're so casual with that. You'll wind up with them.
Is mono still around? Do people still get mono?
Well, Ben might be kissing him. I don't know.
Yeah, you live with him, so that's on you.
I take care of him. Live with him.
There's a lot of people that say you locked the door shut and trapped him up there so you could have the show by yourself.
I said questions for them, Ben, not about where Steve is.
Hold up. So here's one. Kevin McDonald. Shout out my guy Kev. Push-ups for every missed call. These refs are going to be jacked by Tampa. How about push-ups for every missed flag pull? You're going to be jacked by Tampa.
Wow. That's the way he thought it was.
I don't even know why Kevin's commenting right now because of what his team did at the Philly John. They blew a championship. It was so bad.
Oh man, it was so rough. It was so bad to watch. It was so rough.
You want to explain real quick, or
go ahead, Ant, take it away?
Yeah, and so it was the co-ed championship, and there's always strategy. All right, first and foremost, this is how I feel about co-ed. It always comes down to the women. If the women are athletes, then your co-ed team's going to win. If you have a female quarterback, your team is going to be successful. But you know what? Men are the demise of this sport, and their ego is what always gets in the way. And so they always think that they're like, oh, we've got it all figured out. We're gonna down it at the one, and we're gonna do this, and we got to short line it, and we got blah blah blah, all this stuff. And this is what was happening in this game. It was back and forth, great co-ed championship game. What was it? Remix and Supreme, I think, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Supreme was winning by like 2 points, maybe. It was a weird point difference. They were down.
They were down.
They were down. Yeah, but
they were down by 2.
Okay, yeah. So Supreme was down by 2, and Remix had the ball, and they had this big play that ended up happening, and the sideline, the players, they're all telling this guy to down it at the 1. No score. We need the points. Just get the points. No, down it at the 1. So he's like literally walking back and forth. He doesn't know what to do. He finally ends up downing it at the 1. They go 3 and out.
Oh.
And so, and they go 3 and out and give Supreme the ball back with plenty of time to win the game.
Oh, jeez.
And that's what happened.
It was so brutal.
Good idea.
Oh, jeez.
So all they had to do was score. They go up 8 points. They could have gone for 2 and done a female play to go up 11.
Yeah.
But they go 3 and out, and so all Supreme had to do was score a guy touchdown to win the game.
Oh, wow.
And that's what happened. So
They were down by 3 points under a minute left.
there you go. 3 points.
Yeah.
So,
it was brutal.
So that was that's a perfect example of a championship that I didn't lose for the team. I had nothing to do with that. I didn't.
Yep. We can talk about every other one that you did, though. Nah, hey. Thanks for making me relive my.
It's not even 3 and out. It says we threw a pick at the goal line.
Ah, man, there was so many.
Walk out to win.
That's right. That's so
Thanks
brutal.
for making me relive that nightmare.
Hey, but shout out to my guy Kev. He's always a good sport. He came on the show like a few months ago. We gotta have you guys on next time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We'll gladly join yours next time. And you have any questions for us or anything you want to share with us before we kind of wrap this up?
We can just we'll do a quick plug of Clock's Running. First of all, we do have gifts for you two since you guys were kind enough to join us. So we got hoodies for you guys next time we see you.
Oh, awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yep. So we'll get everybody straight down the sizes. Yes, you shut up.
Ben just perked right up all of a sudden. He was real excited. He almost got on the camera.
It's free for me.
Well, I mean, you guys aren't even on the camera anymore. But hey, if we appreciate you guys having us on. We record every week. We're on YouTube, MySpace, Your Space, Facebook, Instagram, Tinder, whatever the other kids are using. I don't know. But you can check out Clock's Running.
You're a little bit too much for yourself. Relax.
Oh. Look, man, I've been married 11 years. I don't even know what those apps are. Hey, I'll leave that to my new producer, Ben.
Someone appreciates me, likes my humor.
Always, brother, always.
Oh, God, here we go. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, you guys just check us out. Clock's Running. We got merch. We've got all that stuff. We just thank you guys for having us on. It was really fun to finally be some guests and just be able to talk to you guys.
Yeah, it was a good time. I appreciate it. Again, thank you, and we'll do it again, and vice versa. We'll gladly jump on Clock's Running too.
Before we let
Absolutely.
But hey, if you guys come on the show, that means that Ben's got to be in the camera.
First of all, and you just cut Ben off while he was talking. So
no, you're good. About me, so I'm cool with it.
He's a producer. He doesn't need to talk. Why is he even talking?
Oh my gosh! Going after my dog Ben like that. What's up, Ben?
He never gets on the camera, and you guys mention his name like nonstop, and now all of a sudden he wants to be on the camera. Like what the fuck? Fucking guy.
Call me on my shit.
We want Tambo. We want Tambo.
No.
Well, hang up, Ben. It's time to go.
Before
Yeah, see, jeez.
we do have someone in the comments that's been giving you guys a couple shout outs. Carla Conk here says, tell them I say I love clocks running. Can't wait to run into them soon.
Actually, she is amazing. She does highlights for our show from our games. Carla Clips. So
Nice.
Check them out. She's been at tournaments. She went to Worlds this year. So she's definitely expanding her portfolio, and she's amazing at it. So, if you guys
Absolutely.
want to
Yeah, she shared a great play with us from your guys' league that brought out lots of we got lots of comments about, it was basically like a guy tackling the ball carrier or whatever. So, Carla, appreciate you sharing that with us and collaborate with us anytime and heal up. I know she's in a boot, right?
Yeah, she's getting there.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you guys being on. Thank you. And Ben probably won't shut up about this forever now.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
Later.
All right, see you guys. Appreciate it.
See ya. So now we have something special for everyone. I know it's different for the show. Steve's not here. Connor's not here. But you got Ben and me. But we also have our shady Vegas kind of connection here that's going to go over power rankings for us for the NEFL with updated week 8 stats in there. So Ben, we're going to try to give him a call. You ready?
Yep. Let me know when.
Just letting him know he's ready. It's real shady, so we have to kind of make sure he's good. He's going to give us a breakdown of how he got the power rankings, how it all values out. Because it is tough with our league because we don't have any crossover games. So it's hard to rate everyone and make it fair because everyone has pretty much the same schedule. So we're going to queue him up right now, Ben, while I'm calling him. Oh, well, he needs 1 minute. So he's almost ready. But he's going to go over, he has odds for our games on week 9. He has all the power rankings for every team, reason why they're there, the points, and how it shakes out for them. Not that one. That one. And so once we get them on, Ben, how'd you like the interview with them? You like those guys?
That's great. They're cool guys.
Yeah, they love you, and so you like them. That makes sense.
I make a good first impression every time, John.
I don't know about that, but sure.
When corrupted by Tambo, they hate me.
We all hate. Ben, I think he might be on. Do you have a voice changer for him? Like maybe hide his identity?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, okay. Well. Hello, shady Vegas underneath ground person.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for being on Tambo Time here with Ben and I.
Absolutely.
So we've had you kind of in the works in the background trying to figure out power rankings for our league. And
right.
you had all the stats, all the info you need, and you kind of came up with a formula that you use in your Vegas underground kind of gambling dens. And you came up and broke it down for us, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Right. And you're ready to talk about it? You have all the info. You have everything you need to kind of...
I hope so. I'm looking at the most recent ones right now, so hopefully...
Perfect.
Should be good to go.
Ben, you want to throw that up on the screen so the viewers can see this?
Sure thing.
All right, buddy. All right. And once it kind of pulls up here...
You're good.
All right. So, Mr. Vegas Underground, you want to run us through this and kind of what we're looking at?
Absolutely, sure. So I assume you've got the standings there.
Yeah.
I can't see what you're doing. So,
yeah, the power rankings that you sent us.
Exactly. So the first several columns are recognized anyway. I mean, it's win losses, percentage points, 4 points against. The 2 columns the 3 columns that really matter are the power adjustment, the ELO there, and then the total adjusted ranking. The power adjustment is set there. It's based on the team's results, basically giving extra points for blowouts or taking away extra points for losing in a blowout, that sort of thing. It's basically to adjust for the fact that an ELO ranking can't account for what actually happens on the field, right? It's straight up head-to-head win-loss. It does not care if one team performs substantially better than another one. So we combine those two to get that adjusted. Now, if you're not familiar with ELO, it's commonly used in chess, but they use it in esports and basically kind of any sort of sports or any sort of competition where players don't necessarily get to have a head-to-head result. It gives you the opportunity to compare teams that haven't played each other and get a sense of what their likelihood of winning if they were to play against each other. It's not a perfect rating by any means, but it's a pretty good approximation of how a team has performed. It does give a little bit of benefit to teams that have done well more recently. So basically, the farther out you get from an early loss, for example, the less that is going to impact the overall score. And you see that that's why you have teams like the Road Warriors. You know, you see Road Warriors, Best Buds, Purple Haze are all really close. Honestly, statistically, their record's the same. Road Warriors comes out on top because they're the team that has 6 wins in a row. So they're getting less hurt for their early losses. And then for example, between Best Buds and Purple Haze, because I think, if I recall, I think Purple Haze may have beaten. Oh no, they're in different divisions.
Yeah, they're in 2 different.
But in cases where you might have, hey, a head-to-head result, why is a team behind? It's probably because of other losses that they took. So, for example, Purple Haze has a loss to a losing team, and that's really hurting them more than Best Bud, which has not lost to a team with a losing record in their 2 losses. The overview of what you're seeing and why the teams that are at the top